We've been super focused on really quick paintings lately, but today we're going to intentionally slow things down. Because today I want to show you how to make leaf and petal shapes with your watercolor brush in an efficient way, and I'm going to really try to slow it down so you can really see the movement of the brush, the pressure of the brush, and the loading of the brush. Grab your watercolors and give them a good spritz. Now, one of the keys to making nice petal or leaf shapes is to make sure that you have enough color or enough water in your brush where you can actually place it down and it's not going to be too dry. If you can't fully load your brush by submerging it into a color mixture or enough water, when you go to try to place these petal or leaf shapes down, they're going to be harder to do and they're going to be more streaky. When you load the brush and just let the one drip come off, and then you actually go to place these down, look how much more water you can flow and you can actually move it around as you're trying to make your leaf or petal shape, so you actually have some control over the shape that it makes, and you're not just kind of dragging what little color was in your brush and hoping that it works. But let's take one step back. For this, you're going to want some sort of a brush that has a nice belly and also has a nice point on it. Round brushes, quill brushes, or even some mop brushes will work great for this. Then you're going to fill your brush so that it's nice and full, maybe remove one drip from it. If you want this to be a long pointy petal or leaf, what you're going to want to do is touch, press, drag, release that pressure, and kind of flick backwards. Now, if you want the petal or the leaf to be a little more blunt, you're going to keep your brush more or less stationary, and you're just going to press into the belly and then lift. And if you notice that the end part of that is not quite as wet, you can just kind of refill that area in using the shape that you allowed your brush to make. Now, if you want your leaves or your petals to be wider, you're going to want to do this in 2 strokes. So you're going to start with your brush, same way we did before, except for instead of pulling it straight out, you're going to kind of curve it to one side and then flick it or release towards the center. Refill your brush, and then starting at that same middle point, you're going to touch, drag, and then pull them together. You're going to touch, start to drag outwards a bit while also putting pressure down, and then you're going to bring it back around to meet the end point of the previous stroke. And most petals or leaves are made with some combination of these strokes. You can play around with leaving some white space between the two. You could elongate your strokes. You could keep them shorter. You could flick faster. You could even squiggle your brush as you make any of these strokes to add some variation. I highly recommend taking some time to practice some of these strokes because it's going to help you get to know your brush a bit better, and that's going to help you in all of your painting. But not only that, these specific strokes are used often in different watercolor paintings, and so this practice is going to help you be more confident and a little more efficient when you're actually doing some of these paintings.